In the first part of the false friend story, we have learnt about Abukir and Abusir's personalities and how Abukir robs the money when Abusir was ill to establish his own dyeing shop. Continuation of the story. The king was very much satisfied with Abukir's efforts and the gates of fortune opened wide for the new master dyer. All the nobles and officials of the court had their clothes dyed by him and paid him very well. In a very short time, Abukir was not only a rich man but also a powerful man in the city. Meanwhile, at the Sirai, Abusir lay unconscious for full 3 days. The watchman wondered why he was not sent for all these days and came to see him on the fourth day. Abusir, who was now conscious, requested the watchman to take some money from his shirt pocket and bring him something to drink. But the shirt pocket was empty. The watchman said that he did not know what happened to Abukir. It was clear that Abukir swindled his friend and went away. Abusir began to shed tears. The watchman consoled him and prepared some hot gruel for him. He went on nursing Abusir at his own cost till one day the sick man had profuse perspiration all over the body and was rid of the disease. He thanked the watchman for his help and bade him goodbye, saying that he would repay him when Allah should decide to help him. The barber did not go very far along the street when he came across a huge dyeing factory with festoons of cloth dyed in several colors in front of it and a large crowd of people admiring them. When he learned that the establishment belonged to Abukir, he was very happy. He was now sure that Abukir did not come to see him due to pressure of work. Abusir peeped inside the shop and saw his friend surrounded with a lot of glory and luxury. But Abukir did not jump with joy on seeing the barber. On the other hand, he shouted in rage, "You are again here, you wretch! How many times did I tell you not to show your face here, you robber?" The next moment, some slaves came and caught hold of the unfortunate barber, and Abukir came out and thrashed Abusir with his stick as though he were a dog. "Never dare to show your face here again," he warned Abusir, "or I shall report to the king and get you beheaded." Abusir did not know what to make of this except that Allah was putting him to a test. He had only one strong desire, and that was to have a good bath. He wandered all over the city for hours and hours but saw not even one hammam. "Good friend," Abusir said to a passerby, "can you show me the way to the nearest hammam?" "Hammam?" said the man, puzzled. "What is a hammam?" "It is a public bathing house where people can have a clean and fresh bath," the barber said. "Whether it is the king or the people, if anyone wants a bath, he must go only to the sea," the other said. It was clear to Abusir that the people of this city never knew the luxury of a clean and fresh bath. He went to the king and said, "This is such a fine city, but it is very great pity that there are no hammams in it." When he explained to the king how a hammam is organized and run, the king said, "Fine, I shall give you as much money as you want. Choose your own place and build a good hammam. Run it yourself and I shall see if it will be really as good as you describe it." With the support of the king, Abusir built a lovely hammam in the center of the town. He made arrangements for storing water and heating it. He arranged a beautiful fountain in the center of the hammam. The king made him a gift of some slaves and the barber taught them how to massage and attend upon the bathers. On the opening day, the king and the other nobles and officers of the court came to bathe. Abusir had the bathing water scented with rose water. All the bathers were massaged well, had their bodies rubbed and bathed. They never knew that bathing could be such a luxury. The king paid Abusir 1,000 gold pieces and the rest of the bathers 100 each. On the very first day, Abusir made a small fortune. From the next day onwards, the baths were open to the public. People flocked to the hammam to have a real nice bath. Abusir took whatever the bathers paid since he wanted even the poorest people to afford a bath at his hammam. One day the queen sent word that she was coming to have a bath at the hammam. Abusir stopped all male bathers and brought in female slaves to attend upon the queen and her maids. He arranged special incense and toilet preparations. When the queen came, the female slaves gave her such a luxurious bath and fine toilet that she was very much pleased with the hammam. Another time, the captain of the king's ships came to have a bath. He recognized Abusir and after the bath wanted to pay for it. But Abusir refused to take any money from the captain to whom he was already indebted. The captain was so pleased with the barber and his nice manners that he was anxious to do him a good turn when an opportunity came. Soon Abukir the dyer came to hear of the hammam and the barber's fame. It was a long time since he had a proper bath, so one day he came to the hammam followed by his numberless slaves. Abusir came out to receive him in person and embraced him. Brother, said Abukir in a very affectionate manner, we swore that we would stand by each other. Then how is it that you did not come even once to see me? I did come, brother, said Abusir, but you received me with a stick and called me a thief. Was it you that I chastised? What a shame! Abukir exclaimed. A rogue who resembled you came daily to my shop and stole something or other. After all, he was a poor beggar and several times I let him off with warnings. In the end, I was so exasperated that I thrashed him. I never suspected that it was you. No, no, I came to your shop only once and you had me beaten, Abusir said. Good heavens, said Abukir. Why didn't you tell me that it was you? Oh, it was fated to happen and we need not worry about it now, Abusir replied. He told his friend how he came to run the hammam and then gave him an excellent bath. The bath is excellent, said Abukir, but for one defect. What is it? Asked Abusir anxiously. Why did you not provide the bathers with a depilatory paste made up of white arsenic and lime? Abukir asked him. Ah, my friend, said Abusir, it slipped my mind. I shall introduce it tomorrow only. Thank you for the suggestion. Story to be continued. Please like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Do provide your feedback in the comment section below. Thanks for listening.